Hello everybody, welcome back to SheffPlays, and today we're going to do a couple tier lists on Resident Evil stuff, just to build some more hype for the remake. This video might be short, again, just because most of my symptoms from my illness are gone, but I still have like a super sore throat, so it's still going to be kind of short, but I'll do what I can do. And then once we get back to full, healthiness, then we'll go back to the 15-20 minute long videos. But yeah, we're going to go through these a little quick just because, sore throat kind of hurts to talk in this kind of tone. So yeah, let's boogie. Claire Redfield. She's an A. She's not too bad. She's got a dope electric gun in Resident Evil 2. And Chris wants her to date our boy Leon. Ooh. Ada? Ada's also an A. She's pretty dope. Yeah, we'll keep her at A. She's pretty dope. I don't know, she's got a dope bow gun. Her stories are pretty cool in RA4. The one of them's kind of tough, like her fight against Sadler's pretty hard. Jill? Yeah. Jill Valentine? That's an S. She's pretty dope. She's definitely one of my favorite characters. Actually, A. I'm only gonna allow 2 people in S, and I know who they are. So yeah. I mean, she's pretty cool. She almost got that S spot, but there's 2 other people more deserving, in my opinion. Oh yeah, again. Tier lists are all my opinion. You don't have to agree, but if you do, pretty dope. Rebecca Chambers, S. Let me explain. Resident Evil 0 was one of the first Resident Evil games I played. 4 was the first one I beat, and then once I really got into 4, I jumped back and played 0 because I had that one at the time as well, and beat that one pretty quick. I'm actually going through it again right now, and it's just a classic, and that's purely nostalgia, but this is my tier list. Chris, we have Chris an A. He's a big staple of the series, and, I don't think he's terrible. I think the amount of times his character changes is insane. Like, Resident Evil 1, Resident Evil 5, and Resident Evil 7 and 8 Chris are all different people. Like, they're not, but if you've played all of them, they are. Like, Resident Evil 1 Chris could barely fend off a single zombie. Resident Evil 5 Chris punched a boulder to block a volcano. And Resident Evil 7 and 8 murdered a woman. Helena? C. I don't really have too much memory of her. I've beaten RA6 a couple times. And, still, I can't even remember a single line of dialogue she says. So, yeah, that's fair. Carlos, he's B. I think, unfortunately, he didn't get enough screen time. Just being in, a small section of 3, I don't think it was enough. I think he's cool enough and has a good enough character to deserve more arc. Sherry Birkin, we give her a B. I mean, she's harmless. Not, towards the walkers. Not towards the... Oh, man, I'm so tired. Not towards the zombies. When you play with her in 6. As her in 6. Oh, man. My brain's all scrambled. But, yeah. I mean, she's like Chris. She's a staple. But she's not as prolific, Jake? You know what? Actually, I'm going to give him a D. Same as Helena, but, I don't think I ever played Jake's story. I did. I played it very briefly. The only reason I have more experience with Helena is because of Leon. Pierce? I'll give him a B. I don't think he's too bad. I think when you play his and Chris's story, when you and a buddy play, it's really fun. Ethan's hand, that's an A character. A performance, the most insane amount of plot armor I've ever seen. always comes back, even when you don't expect it to. Sheva? I don't know why I said her name so weird. I'm getting really tired. I'm like never up this late. Uh, it's I don't know. I think it's like 2:30. Sheva. C. Hear me out. The amount of people I talk to that have played as many Resident Evils as I have, which is a ton of people, but within my circle of friends, there's not very many. Um, they all love her because they all got to experience Resident Evil 5 in that co-op zone, like playing couch co-op with a buddy. I never did that, and she uses an insane amount of ammo for a single person. So I don't like her because the only experience I have with her is her as a bot, and it's awful. I'm sure, you know, if I play through Resident Evil 5 with a friend, I'll come back to this, and maybe she'll get a higher ranking. But until then, she's a C. Leon? S, baby. I am a Leon fanboy, alright? Leon is like my favorite Resident Evil character there is. Like, even Rebecca, she sits close, but she's behind him. Leon is just a dope dude. First day on the force, the apocalypse happens, or the virus breaks out. And then 6 years later, he's sent to like this infection ridden European village and just wipes clean. Dude's an awesome dude. He's a tank. He's dope. I always look forward to seeing him in movies and, you know, the CGI movies, in the games. Even like little mentions of him in files and stuff in other games he's not in is just exciting to me. On to the next one. Alright, here we have Resident Evil 4 guns. Figured it's appropriate. Man, I had all of them memorized there for a minute and I lost it. We're gonna wing it. I might get one or two of them wrong. The Blacktail, we give it a B. It's cool because it can shoot two enemies at once. Like if they're standing one and one behind it, shoot the one in the front, it'll hit the one in the back as well. But it's not very strong. Yeah, it's not bad, but could be better. The Broken Butterfly, we'll give that an A. Sorry, I'm clearing my throat so much. Sore throat. Broken Butterfly is an A. That is because you can actually find one for free instead of having to pay for it in the game, in the castle section. Granted, it's about halfway through the game, but you can still do that, and it's pretty strong. The Flash Grenade, that's an A. It wipes out Ganados infections like the second you throw it. It's really convenient to have them on hand. Rarely do I use them when there's not like a Plagas opened up. It's only like a necessity, or if I'm catching fish. Standard Grenade, C. I don't really use them that often. I more or less sell them for the pesetas than I actually use them in combat. I mean, they're effective, but you know what? I'm going to go ahead and pair this with it while I say this. With those two grenades, the incendiary and the standard grenade, the amount of times I've accidentally game-ended Ashley using those things, trying to kill Ganados, is ridiculous. Like, it's absurd, and I can't be the only one who's had that issue, because she just gets in the way. The handgun, I give it a B. It's reliable, you know, it's a starting gun, doesn't do terrible, but it does wear down pretty quick, like it doesn't last very long, strength-wise, unless you're upgrading that one specifically. The Magnum 7, I'm trying not to say the K word too many times. I don't want to get in trouble by YouTube. The Magnum 7, I'll give it a C. Not that I think it's bad. I think it's cool. I just personally have only used it like twice. I might go through and use it. I'm actually doing another professional playthrough right now alongside the one for the channel, which I really need to make a video for. The Matilda? That's weird. That's a crazy one too. It's definitely a C. I don't even recall using it. I know I've seen it, but I don't recall using it. I think it's a mercenary's weapon? I could be wrong. I'm definitely going to have to look back into it to see if I can find it. Now I'm curious. Oh, no, I have, because I like to do this thing where, like, I'll do New Game Plus and save up a ton of money. Like, for instance, on my professional run, I have, like, 2.8 million pesetas, and I'll just buy a gun, max it out, use it for a little bit, sell it, get the next gun, do the same thing. The Striker, that's an A. It's super strong, and you can do the Ditman glitch, which if you haven't played the game before or don't know what that is, it's basically like you go to aim the gun, and the second you see the laser, you switch to a different gun, and he runs super fast until you climb a ladder or open a door. It's really handy for speedrunning, unless you're in small areas. Then you spend like half your time in the inventory. Oh man, the Punisher. I think I got this one and the Blacktail mixed up. I definitely did. I need to go through the... I don't usually use handguns in this game. There's one I do use. You're about to see it in a second. We'll give it a B. Just in case it's that. Just in case it's this one and I messed up. I'm sure it's fine. The handguns in this game are generally okay. Like, they're not completely defenseless. They're fine. The Red 9. S tier. That is my favorite handgun in the game, as goes for a lot of people. It's just the strongest handgun. It's super good. You got a really good reload speed once you've got it maxed. A nice, like, magazine size. Ah, it's just a classic. The semi-auto rifle. C. I don't really use snipers unless it's, like, actually intended for this section. Like, for semi-segments, or when you're going down the lift with Ashley. Unless absolutely needed, I really don't tend to use the rifles. Like, if you're watching the playthrough now, I know there's a couple people consistently watching that. You'll see that assault rifles, sniper rifles aren't really my go-to. Bolt action, I'm gonna give it the same treatment. Don't really go for those. They're just not really effective when you have a ton of people coming at you at once. They're really good for the Garrador, but other than that, not really. The riot gun, I'll give it a B. It's not bad. I think it's one of the few that I haven't maxed out just because I don't think about it. Yeah. We'll allow 3 S's for this because there's so many options. The RPG, is that the special? No, it's a normal. The RPG is not only good for bosses, but a ton of other little tricks as well. Man, I had like 3 examples in my head. If you don't have a flash grenade when you get to that big jumble of crows, use one of those, get some money, although it'd be kind of a waste. It pretty much one-taps any enemy, I think except for Sadler. It might one-tap Sadler at the very end, but it's just a great weapon, and it's cheap. It's only 30,000 pesetas, which might sound like a lot if you haven't really played the game, but like if you follow the treasure maps, make sure you collect everything that the enemies drop, sell unneeded stuff, it's really not that hard. And the bosses are spaced out enough to where you should most definitely have enough for it by the time you get to each boss. The W870 or W780, I don't remember. It's okay. I don't think I've ever upgraded it. Maybe I've maxed it out just to see. I don't think I ever stick with it longer than to the castle. And then I get this, and I don't really use it then. I might do a W870 run. Just because I can. Because why not? Striker. Am I a silly goose? I'm such a silly goose. This is not the Striker. This one that I talked about the Ditman glitch with, That's a mine thrower. That's a B. So everything I said about the striker with a Dipman glitch and strong shotgun, that's this one. This is the mine thrower. They look a decent amount alike. It shoots explosives. It's really good for that water room where there was a ton of enemies. But yeah, TMP S. When you have that thing maxed out, it has an insane amount of ammo in the magazine, really quick reload, really good accuracy, pretty decent damage, and man, it's just an absolute beast. I love it so much. It's fun to use, fun to play with, makes me happy. I'm pretty upset that the extra unlockable weapons weren't in here, like the PRL, the Thompson, and the Magnum. I've never gotten the Magnum because I'm garbage at mercenaries. So yeah, that was really it for this video. I know I stumbled my words a bit. It's because I'm super tired. Still gonna make a thumbnail. And this video actually ended up being longer than I expected. So, I hope you enjoyed. Hope you're having a good day. If you're watching early on, have a good rest of your day. See you in the next one. And I did find my capture card, but I did not have the energy to put oomph and emphasis and enthusiasm into the video. So, yeah. See ya.